One of the other big stories that we have been following this week, Britney Spears' legal fight to end her conservatorship and, as she says, really just take back her life.
That's right. Britney Spears posting for the first time on social media yesterday since her explosive testimony, writing to fans, "I apologize for pretending like I've been okay the past 2 years. I did it because of my pride, and I was embarrassed to share what happened to me."
New York Times senior editor, story editor, and co-creator of Framing Britney Spears documentary, Liz Day, joins us now for a deeper dive into what's next. Liz, good morning to you.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. We just saw that Instagram post that she posted yesterday, pretending, as she said, that everything was okay. Tell me this. I guess it actually helped her as an outlet to share her existence. She talked about that. What did you make of that? After everything that we learned on Wednesday, the fact that she would get back on Instagram and try to speak on her own?
I thought that was really interesting. As you noted, she said that pretending everything was okay really helped her feel better. And she even made a joke, saying, who doesn't use their Instagram for making their life seem better than it really is? And we don't know exactly what's going on with her Instagram, whether she's always writing the captions, but it'll be interesting to see moving forward whether it starts to be more open about what's really going on with her life.
So Liz, we've been hearing about this, and you've been reporting on the hashtag Free Britney movement for a while now. So how much do you think that this groundswell has led to where we are right now?
I think a lot, and I think they really feel vindicated because for a long time they've been trying to shine a spotlight on, whether Britney is doing okay and also the conservatorship system at large. And they've been dismissed as conspiracy theories. So I think to hear from Britney directly validating a lot of what they were saying is really powerful.
And I think hearing Britney actually come out and speak publicly, I mean, it seemed like she was just sort of squeezing everything that's been happening in the past several years into, these 4 pages that she was reading from. I mean, how important do you think it was for everyone else to hear from her, and just to hear it in her own words?
I think it was really powerful. One of the most wrenching things she said in court was that she's never spoken about this because she didn't think people would believe her. So to see the groundswell of support from the general public and even celebrities like Andy Cohen or Justin Timberlake, I think may actually really help.
What about on the other side of this? Her father, Jamie Spears, we know he released a brief statement during the hearing saying that he was, quote, sorry to see his daughter suffering and in so much pain and that he loves Britney and her sister. But since then, he's declined to comment. What do you think is happening on that side of this? And we haven't heard from her family as well.
Yeah, it's been interesting that, we haven't heard much from the family, and that may change. We don't really know. Jamie Spears, her father, has long said that he loves his daughter and that he is only acting out of her best interest. But experts point out that there's a conflict of interest when he makes money off of the conservatorship. So if he signs up for her to do a deal, is it because it's in her best interest, or is it because he can get a percentage of that multi-million-dollar deal?
And Liz, through your reporting, you've glimpsed inside her world. Whether this conservatorship ends or not, how does this impact her career and really her personal life? Because forget about the career, forget about all this other stuff. This is a person, that we're talking about, and not just an entity.
Yeah, I think it's hard to know what's going on inside the head of the judge or the other lawyers, but I think that hearing the power of emotion and hearing directly from Britney really raises the stakes in this case. So it's not just about, the nuance of the law and kind of wonky stuff like that. It's really more powerful and emotional than that.
Absolutely. We'll certainly continue to follow this one. Liz, thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.